Hello everyone. I hope you all are doing well today. And today we are going to yet again discuss a very interesting topic, which is asking versus telling. Now, if you are a leader, manager, or coach mentoring a team, focus on empowering rather than instructing your team. And how can you do it? Well, instead of assigning tasks with detailed instructions, ask thought-provoking questions to encourage their best thinking patterns. Try to brainstorm with them. Try to create more leaders in your team than creating more helpers and followers for yourself, because this will not only make you a very loving boss, an ideal mentor to work for, but also this pattern will help you scale up your business, scale up your team, and empower all of the team members around you, and at large increase the productivity and impact for your own company. So let's get started. Now let's understand this through a very interesting story. Alex was tearing his hair out. He had just joined the company in the strategic planning department and was halfway through his first project. He was used to gathering facts on market trends and analyzing lots of numbers, but he wasn't used to writing the succinct reports that seemed to be the norm in his new company. He had developed what he thought was a creative title page for his document: Acquisition in the Ice Cream Market, Coal Logic, or Soft Option. But he was having real problems in structuring his thoughts for the main body of the report. Unfortunately for Alex, it was while wrestling with this problem that his boss Bob dropped by on an unscheduled visit. Bob was unimpressed. "You need to start with the main message," Bob eventually explained, "and then structure the supporting rationale, ideally into 3 points, because most audiences can easily assimilate 3 points in one of the two ways. Either use a grouping of parallel points or use a logical flow of argument, statement, implication, and resolution. I have to go to a meeting now, but let's meet up later to run through your draft." Alex had been confused by this rapid set of instructions. They had not made much sense to him, and by the end of the afternoon had made little progress. Now Alex wondered whether Sarah could help. As a senior marketing manager, she had been involved in recruiting Alex into the company, and he suspected that she had been influential in the decision to offer him the job. She and Alex had many things in common. They had been to the same business school, were both interested in direct marketing, and were both keen tennis players. Sarah was sympathetic to Alex's plight in structuring the report. "What's the most extreme statement you would feel comfortable making about this ice cream market?" she asked. "Well, I'm not yet sure that we should actually enter the market, but it does look attractive," he replied. "And why does it look attractive?" Well, demand is rising, profit margins look sustainable, competition does not seem to be very intense, and prices have held up over the last 5 years. I see," she replied. "And are any of these 4 points really different sides of the same coin?" I guess the point about pricing is really part of the statement about profit margins. But hey," he continued excitedly, "I think I have got something on costs too. So I could say that the market is attractive because 1. Demand is rising, 2. Profit margins are sustainable on both the price and cost side, and 3. The competitors look likely to remain weak." "Anything else?" asked Sarah. Alex chewed on his pen, as he had now developed a clearer structure for his report. He could more easily spot the gaps. "The retailers," he mumbled. "I need to add something about their buying power." Thanks, Sarah. I think I can work on this structure now. By the way, is this a grouping of reasons or a flow of argument? It looks like a grouping of reasons to me. Well, Alex was impressed by Sarah's approach. She had only spent a couple of more minutes with him than Bob had, but she had really helped him structure the report, and she didn't even know anything about the ice cream market. She had just asked the right questions. He also felt more confident about drafting the next report and thought he had probably be able to learn a lot from working with Sarah in the future if the opportunity arose. Sarah too thought that the brief interaction had been worthwhile. She believed that Alex had a lot of raw talent, so he learned quickly and kept him in mind as someone she might co-opt to work with on a project in the future. Now, similar to what has already been mentioned in the story that you just heard, there is a similar method which is called a Socrates method. I'm sure many of you who are avid readers must have heard about this method, Socrates method, which is often used while critical thinking or making decisions, and you have to rationalize and analyze and evaluate and use critical thinking concepts. So Socrates method is used in that, which is very similar to what is mentioned in the story about asking questions. Now, Socrates saw himself as a midwife to understanding. He believed that one can help people understand, but that one cannot make people understand. Just as a midwife delivers the child but does not give birth to it. Similarly, the leader or mentor is a midwife to skill building and is not typically a highly didactic teacher. The boss's most important decision is whether to instruct, suggest, or whether to ask a question, or indeed whether to use a style of interaction somewhere between these two extremes. Now, you will face this decision in a wide variety of mentoring situations as a leader, isn't it? When deciding the topic on which to help your team member, when providing feedback, or when helping the team member decide what to do next, it's always a dilemma. At work, many bosses rely on telling others directly or indirectly, instructing what to do and sometimes how to do it. But as a leader, as a boss, as a mentor, as a coach, it's important to have a broader range of approaches in your repertoire. The pivotal question is often more powerful than the instruction. Even the podcasters follow the similar pattern. They don't tell, even if despite of they have done research on the topic, they have to ask questions to the guest, but they learn things, they find lots of conclusions out of the questions they are asking to the guest in a podcasting. And this is similar to what Socrates already knew centuries and centuries back, that a question is always powerful than an instruction. So now, while concluding this, if there is one thing you do differently as a result of listening to this video right now, to the story that you just listened, simply try to ask a few good questions where you might otherwise have issued an instruction or leapt into providing advice to your team members. Try to do the opposite. Instead of instructing or telling, try to ask questions, brainstorm with them, and I'm sure you will get wonderful results with your team members. And so that's it for today's video. I hope you got some insights out of it through the story, through the Socrates method that I just discussed, and I'm sure it will help you as a leader if you are working, if you're an entrepreneur, if you're a boss, or even a coach in the training industry. I'm sure it will help you a lot. So stay tuned for many more such interesting videos, articles, stories, case studies, models, and my thoughts related to management. I'll see you next week.